everybody, my name is Nicole and I'm from the Michigan Humane Society Berman Center for Animal Care in Westland. I have a couple of friends I want to introduce you to today, but first with me I have a cute 3-year-old pit bull mix. His name is Chucky Finster and he came into us as a stray. He's been with us since February. He got adopted at one point, but the family felt they did not have enough time to give him the attention that he needed, so they brought him back. He did great in the home though. They had a 1-year-old that he was so patient with, and he's just the sweetest boy, and he is so darn cute. Look at those freckles. Look at your freckles. He is very, very good on a leash. He just loves to play with his toys. He's very polite with his toys. So normally when dogs are in a shelter for a long period of time, such as Chucky has been, it's really hard for them to adapt to that and maybe not get all the attention that they deserve to have during the day. But Chucky's doing so good here. He still is so happy to meet new people, and he's just so calm in his pod, and you would never know that he's been here for so long, or that he's so young. He's so sweet and calm. And this is his favorite thing to do, just laying here with you, and he'll play for a few minutes at first, but then if you want to just hang out, that's what he's gonna do. That's his favorite thing. And then he has met dog friends here. We've had to introduce him to multiple dogs as part of our temperament test. And he does great with all the dogs he meets. He's so patient with the really, really hyper ones, and he gets along really great with the really calm ones. He doesn't have a history with cats, so we don't introduce dogs to cats here. You just want to introduce them slowly if you have a cat in the home, but I imagine he'd be doing pretty good. Since Chucky is a pit bull, let's talk about that for a little bit. It is really hard for pit bulls to get adopted just because they do have such a stigma attached to the breed. Pit bulls are actually really sweet dogs, and I'm always saying about pit bulls, it's about who's at the other end of the leash that affects how the dog is going to behave. It's not about the breed. There are some cities that restrict pit bulls, unfortunately, so before you adopt Chucky, you are going to want to make sure that it's not an ordinance in your city or township. Some cities do allow pit bulls, but they require a microchip and/or them being spayed or neutered. Chucky's already microchipped and neutered, so that part is done for you. So pit bulls can be moderate to high energy dogs. It depends on the dog, and I guess what they're mixed with a little bit. So you do want to keep in mind that Chucky, just like most dogs, are going to need training and time to adjust to their new environment and lots of playtime. Even though he is really calm and likes to lay down, he is going to still need you to play with him once in a while. Just show him that you care. I think most families that are willing to understand the obstacles that they're going to maybe have to go through with having a pit bull would be great for Chucky. He got along with a 1-year-old infant in the home, and he's great with all the other dogs that he's met here. You are going to have to bring your dogs to meet him before you can officially adopt him, but we have a fun space for that dog-to-dog introduction to happen. And I really feel like anybody that is okay with him being a pit bull should come and give him a chance. He's so sweet, and he's the best of both worlds. He's playful and cuddly. I really feel like he would do good in just about any type of home. So just come and apply, and we'll have you meet him, and we'll figure it out together if it's the right fit. So I have a fun friend with us today. This is Edward, and he is a bearded dragon. He is estimated to be about 3 to 5 years. It's hard to tell once they are full grown, but he is full grown, so he's at least over a year. Bearded dragons can live up to 10 years, so he probably has quite a few more years to stay with you. Edward came to us as a stray. Sometimes when people feel they can no longer care for their reptiles, they do let them loose outside when it's warmer out because they feel that as long as it's warm, they'll be okay, or just that they're outside. They'll be okay, and that's not the case. Bearded dragons are desert animals, so they're not going to survive outside, and especially in the Michigan weather. So luckily somebody brought him into us when they found him, and we were able to put him up for adoption after his stray hold, and nobody came forward for him. At Edward's age, bearded dragons are mostly omnivores, so he is mostly vegetarian. He'll probably eat small insects such as crickets once in a while. He should have that in his diet, but most of the time it's just greens, and he's so good about eating his salad, and it's fun to watch him eat too. He is pretty handleable. That's another reason why we think maybe he did have a home at some point, because it does take some time to get reptiles used to handling, and he's pretty good with it. Bearded dragons may not be the best first reptile for a home that's not already familiar with them. However, you're not required to have knowledge of them beforehand to adopt, but we do ask that you do some research on them because they do require special lighting, special habitat space, special diet. It is really hard to get a habitat and diet right for a bearded dragon, so you do want to do your research and make sure that it's something that you can keep up with properly. So for example, without proper UVB rays in their lighting, bearded dragons can get metabolic bone disease, and that is not good. That means that their bones are not getting the nutrients that they require. So eventually he's going to start getting brittle and pale. So it is really important to make sure that you understand the risks of them not having the proper nutrition, lighting, and diet. Reptiles are super duper sensitive. So bearded dragons are usually really content with being in their habitat if it's a proper size and with the proper decor. But having some out of cage time with handling involved is really important to keep them handleable, because especially with males, they are territorial and sometimes they get used to you not handling them much. So if you go a couple days without handling them, they might decide that they don't like it. So it is important to make sure that you interact with him to keep him social. Having some time outside is important. However, you need to make sure that he is secure so that he doesn't run away from you. So for outside, he can be in a carrier that's maybe not in direct sunlight so that he doesn't get too hot or get any damage to his skin. But you can also walk them around on a harness. They do sell bearded dragon harnesses and leashes, so that's always a fun option. You can take him for a little walk around the yard. Either that or in some type of carrier where he's not in direct sunlight, and you can keep an eye on him to make sure that other animals that may come into your yard, such as big birds, won't try to hurt him. If you were interested in adopting an animal from the Michigan Humane Society, you can either start by going on our website and seeing all of our animals that are up for adoption, or you can come into our facilities. We have 4 adoption centers, and take a look around and see if there's anybody that you might be interested in, and then you could fill out an application either on our website or in person at our adoption lobbies. If you do fill out your application online, you'll want to come to the facility that the animal that you're interested in is at. Your adoption counselors will go over all that with you and make sure that the animal or animals that you are interested in are a good fit for you and your family, and vice versa. And then usually the animal will go home the same day as long as they're spayed or neutered already. So it is a quick process, so make sure that you're ready for it.